Out there by the Buffs defender coming up from his safety position is Anthony Perkins and makes a stop, knocking him out of bounds across the 25 at the 27-yard line. There is a flag thrown out of the secondary on this play. So let's see what that's all about with 13:24 to play.
Block below the waist. Offense. Number 83. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
That is Tito Gonzalez, and the second time he has had a block below the waist call go against him as a wide receiver. 14-7 Colorado. Coming out of the lineup is Darrell Jala. Re-entering is Will Johnson, the fullback. They'll use him as a tight end on occasion as well.
You remember Tito Gonzalez? Probably don't remember that, but I'll remind you, in the Fiesta Bowl, he had a 79-yard touchdown catch.
Sounding play is West Virginia mauled Oklahoma. That ball all the way back to the 12-yard line. So second down and 13 from the 12. Ball left, hash mark. Open side of the formation to the right. Sanders in motion. Shotgun snap to White. Fakes the handoff to Devine. Runs it up inside. Runs into the linebacker, Jeff Smart. He's hauled down back at the 20-yard line. So that's the initial line of scrimmage. Ends up being a pretty nice pickup from the 12 all the way up to the 20. About 8 yards or so. So third down and 10 now for West Virginia.
It's just so difficult, Mark, to defend that because he gives it to Devine going into the line. And Devine doesn't have the ball, so he swings it back outside. Sort of like the old Belly series.
Here comes West Virginia now, third down and 10 from the 20. Out of the shotgun, White once again. Multiple shifts in the formation. Flanked to his right by Devine. Now he leaves in motion to his left, leaving the backfield empty. Shotgun snap to White. Retreats, looks left, delivers left. By catch by Jack Sands is made, and he is hauled down immediately. They try to set up the screen to the right side, and Chappelle Brown sniffed it out beautifully, hauled him down for a loss of a yard. Fourth down and 11, and the Mountaineers have to punt this one away to Colorado. Great job defensively by CU.
Boy, more than that. They had Jeff Smart over there. You had Walters over there. As you mentioned, Chappelle. And Brandon Nicholas had sort of pulled out of the line, and he was in the area where that pass was thrown.
So McAfee out to punt this one away once again for the Mountaineers from the 5-yard line off to her left. Deep to receive is Josh Smith. The up man is Scotty McKnight once again. Teams have been trying to kick away from Smith, so the Buffs have dropped the second man. Low snap to the knees. McAfee puts the right foot to it, and this is a cannon. All the way back inside the 30. Fair catch signal made by Josh Smith. Catch right at the 30-yard line with 11:35 to play. In the first half, 14-7. Colorado with the lead. A 50-yard punt, no return. Buffs have it first and 10 from their own 30-yard line. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. Timeout. Buffs leading West Virginia by a touchdown. 11:35 to play in the first half. 14-7 is their score as the Buffaloes lead this one by a touchdown over 21st ranked West Virginia. Buffs wearing all black tonight to go along with that blackout. Back on offense, first and 10 now from their own 30-yard line, moving right to left here in the second. Ball right hash mark. That's the boundary side of the formation to the right, open side to the left. Again, the power formation as Cody Hawkins for much of the first quarter, now into the second quarter, under center. Backs are in the eye. Speedy Stewart the tail of the tandem. Hawkins turns, hands out to Stewart. Head of steam as he slices his way through a hole, then dives forward out to the 35 for a 5-yard pickup by Speedy Stewart. Zim, he's so tiny out there. If he gets ahead of steam like that, he almost disappears in that offensive line.
He'd fit in that West Virginia backfield, wouldn't he, with White and Devine.
Robert Sands is there on the tackle for West Virginia. Second down and 5 from the 35. Same formation. Hand up to Stewart again. Bends it off the left side. Makes a nice cut across the 40. 45-yard line. 50-yard line. Runs over the top of Ellis Langster and pulls his way forward inside Mountaineer territory to the 47-yard line. A scamper of 18 yards by Rodney Speedy Stewart. First down, Colorado.
Boy, I tell you, he is something. Devin Head is in the lineup right now, and Devin was really shaken up on that play. He was still on the ground. Cody helped him up, but he's back in there, taking his three-point stance.
First down and 10 now for the Mountaineer 46-yard line. Slot right formation under center. Hawkins takes a snap, turns, hands off, boundary side left. Running Stewart, hit at the 41-yard line and hammered down that time by Ellis Langster. Langster got bowled over by Stewart not last time. This time Langster really lays the wood to Stewart and hauls him down. A gain of 5 yards. Second down at 5, forthcoming. You know, the hoopla for Darrell Scott, rather, and he certainly has been impressive, but Stewart's kind of been stealing his thunder a little bit early on in this season.
Oh, it sure is.
He has been good. Second down at 5 now for the Buffaloes. For the West Virginia 41-yard line, Hawkins under center, takes a snap, rolls out to his right, looks downfield, rifles downfield, and it's incomplete. Threw it down the right seam off the fingertips of Cody Crawford, who laid out for that football and almost came up with it. Sidney Glover was there on the coverage for West Virginia. That would have been a first down for the Buffaloes down around the 25-yard line.
And again, Cody just missed on a pass. He missed on that one to Williams earlier, and that Cody Crawford was wide open there.
Cody 10 of 15 passing, 110 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So 3rd down and 5. The Buffaloes are 4 of 6 on 3rd down conversions in this ball game. 3rd down and 5 for the Mountaineers 41. Out of the shotgun, Hawkins takes a snap, backpedals, sets to throw, steps up the pocket, swings it off, tight end catch by DeVenny, turns upfield, picks up the first down. He is cut down at the 35-yard line. He's got a first down by a yard. And the Buffaloes again convert on 3rd down, a 6-yard pickup. Brandon Hogan, who's there in the tackle, a new set of downs for Colorado.
And Cody had a little pressure on him that time, but let me tell you something. This offensive line tonight is doing a lot better job against West Virginia than they did against Eastern Washington.
Well, this past week and that week off, Jeff Grimes, who has faced this 3-3-5 defense a number of times at BYU facing New Mexico, really worked on fundamentals and told them here's what you're going to expect. And so far they have performed admirably. First down and 10 for the Buffs now from the Mountaineers 34-yard line. Hawkins this time resetting the formation. The play clock was bearing down, and so a timeout called by Colorado with 9:36 to play in the first half. 14-7. The Buffaloes leading West Virginia, looking at a first down and 10 from the Mountaineers 34-yard line. As they take the timeout, congregate around head coach Dan Hawkins on the far sidelines. Buffs back in action, of course, essentially a week and a half from now. A week from this coming Saturday, we'll be in Jacksonville, Florida, as Colorado takes on the Florida State Seminoles. That's a 1:30 Mountain Time game. We'll hit the air on our flagship 850 KOA. At 11:30, our network and all the affiliates pick things up at 12 o'clock High Noon Mountain Time as the Buffs go on the road to face the Seminoles.
Mark, for those who didn't hear my pregame interview with Jeff Grimes, I thought he had a great line. He said, you're so young. Are these guys going to be able to pick up the nuances of the 3-3-5 compared to the normal 4-man line? He said, they're so young they don't know the difference.
Everything they see is new to them, so why not? Well, Daniel Sanders out there in the middle of that line, the captain, the center for the Buffaloes, the lone senior out there, has done a great job with the calls. First down and 10 from the 34. Handoff to Darrell Scott. Stops, spins off one tackler, hit from behind.
There you go.
But as he got hit, he got pushed forward. Doug Slovanik was there in the tackle. He hit Scott at about the 33-yard line, but because he hit him so hard, Darrell went charging forward along with the momentum down to the 30-yard line. A 5-yard pickup, second down, and a long 5, short 6 now for the Buffaloes. From the 30. Ball right hash mark. Hawkins again under center. Turns, hands off to the tailback Darrell Scott. Following blockers, we've got a flag thrown on the play as Scott bolts his way down to the 26-yard line. He's hauled down there, a gain of 4 yards. But hold the phone, let's see what this flag is all about.
Holding. Offense. Number 72. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that penalty goes against Devin Head, the junior, who was suspended for the last game because of some off-the-field issues. So they move that one all the way back to the 40-yard line. It ends up being a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So from the 30 where it happened, that was the line of scrimmage. Second down and 16. From the 40. Ball right hash mark. Hawkins with an empty backfield out of the shotgun. He's got 5 wide receivers, 2 right and 3 left. And now a whistle and a stoppage of play prior to the snap.
There's a flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty.
That's Patrick Williams. You know, when you're a wide receiver, there's really never a reason, regardless of noise level, to ever have a false start, because all you have to do is look down the line at the football and wait for the snap by the center. So second down and 21 as the Buffs have dug themselves a bit of a hole here from their own 45. I beg your pardon, from the Mountaineer 45. Shotgun snap to Hawkins. Sets, throws over the middle. It is picked off. Picked off by Reed Williams. Running across the 40. Gets by Cody Hawkins. And then hit and hauled down by Nate Solder. And Hawkins looked downfield. He had a wide receiver down the left seam, but did not see the linebacker coming up and making the interception. And there is a flag down on this play. He was throwing the ball to the tight end, Patrick DeVenny, and the linebacker came in and jumped right in front of the route of DeVenny and took it back the other direction.
Reed Williams missed the first 2 games, recovering some shoulder surgery. He was the defensive MVP in
During the
Fiesta
return,
Bowl.
personal foul on the defense, number 91. 15 yards, first down.
Doug Slovanik with the foul. 8:28 to play in the first half, 14-7. And so the Mountaineers shoot themselves in the foot there after getting a nice interception and return by Reed Williams.
And that'll come from the spot of the foul, which is right out by midfield.
So they lose yardage where the foul happened, about 10 yards or so. And they'll have to mark it back then 15 yards from there. So they move it all the way back to the 36-yard line. That certainly helps out the Buffaloes after the mistake by Cody Hawkins.
Cody telegraphed that one pretty good.
8:28 to play in this opening half, 14-7. Colorado with a touchdown advantage. West Virginia following the pick by the linebacker has it first down at 10 for the 36-yard line. Moving from left to right. White out of the shotgun, flanked either side by a running back. Ball dead center of the field. White calls for the ball. Gives the inside handoff as he bobbles to Sanders. Runs it right side. He's got a big hole running 45 near the 50-yard line. Haul down right at the 49-yard line. Making the stop for the Buffaloes was Brad Jones. A 15-yard scamper by the slot man / running back, Jock Sanders.
He had 2 carries coming into this game as a running back, and he's got a few now.
Now a quick snap, throw out on the left-hand side as Jallow makes the catch out in the left flat at the 50-yard line. He's hauled down immediately, so a little hurry-up offense by Pat White and the Mountaineers there with 8:05 to play in the first half. 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8 now for West Virginia.
Jallow's a senior receiver, career 37 catches for 471 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Second down and 8 right to the 50-yard line. Ball up hash mark inside, handoff to Noel Devine. Cuts it up inside, has a nice hole. Scoots forward down to the 45-yard line. Cut down inside the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 6 yards on the carry. Ryan Walters is there in the tackle. A little bit like Speedy Stewart is Noel Devine. Very small, 5'8", 170, but extremely quick. Third down and 2 now for West Virginia from about 44-yard line with 7.5 to play in the second. Bust by a touchdown. Shotgun snap to White. Sets to throw. Rifles it over the middle. In and out of the hands of Sanders. Incomplete. Nice coverage by the Buffaloes. Sean Moeller was right there along with Jeff Smart for Colorado in the coverage from the linebacking core.
Talking to Sean Moeller this week and talking about this stretch of games that Colorado has, and he said that's the reason I came here. He said I was recruited by several other teams, Nebraska, Notre Dame. Said I looked at Colorado's schedule and I knew that was a first-class schedule, and that's what I wanted to be part of.
So 4th down and 2. The Buffs defense steps up nicely and stops the drive by West Virginia following the interception throw by Cody Hawkins. Smith back to return. He stands back at the 5-yard line out to a right. Play clock down to 2. Down to 1. There's the snap. Running punt by McAfee. Coming up, Josh Smith takes to the 10-yard line. Stutter steps, breaks 1 tackle. Hit around the waist and hauled down now at the 13-yard line. And making a stop for West Virginia was Jim Lewis. A 3-yard return following a relatively shallow punt of only 34 yards by McAfee. So with 7:13 to play in the first half, Colorado leading West Virginia 14-7. Buffs Hawkins. Motion man is McKnight. Inside handoff to Speedy Stewart. Bends it around the left side. Gets a nice block by Nate Solder. And then knifes his way up to the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. Second down and 4 forthcoming for the Buffaloes. Ovid Goulburn is there in the tackle for the Mountaineers.
That's about 65 yards gained for Stewart now.
On only 8 carries in this ballgame. 8 carries exactly for 63 yards for Speedy Stewart. Second down and 4 for the Buffaloes from the 20. Out of the shotgun again. Hawkins fakes the pass, draw play, hands out to Stewart again. He kind of disappears amongst the big mountains of offensive linemen there and ducks down, and he pops up out at the 24-yard line. That's about a half-yard shy of the first down marker. Gain of 3.5 or so. So third down and a very short one now for the Buffaloes. Well, he does. He just and especially wearing those black uniforms tonight. He disappears in a sea of humanity, and you just wait to see him pop out in the other end. 6:37 to play in the first half, 14-7.
They gave him a first down.
Oh, they did give him. Boy, they got a very
good mark.
Generous spot by this Big East Conference officiating crew. So first down at 10. It took them a while to get to it, but they eventually moved the chains. First down at 10 now from the 24-yard line. Josh Smith goes boundary side left. Patrick Williams goes wide right. McKnight in the slot to the right side. First and 10 for the 24. Shotgun snap to Hawkins. Dances to his left. Lobs it down the left sidelines. And it is incomplete. And now a flag is thrown. As Smith was coming up the sideline, the Bandit safety, Quentin Andrews, came over and just laid the wood to Josh Smith before the ball even went over his head. And a flag is thrown on the safety, Quentin Andrews.
Boy, Cody came running up to the official on that. And, of course, he was already in the process of throwing the flag.
So another penalty against West Virginia. This would be, I believe, the 5th of the ball game. Our stat monitors are down up here. I believe this is the 5th of the ball game already against West Virginia.
West Virginia came in 2 games having been penalized 9 times for 76 yards. And that's good compared to Colorado, The Buffs have been penalized 18 times for 128.
Well, I think the conversation, by the way, Ben Vanek tells us that's the 4th penalty against West Virginia. The conversation is whether that was a legitimate penalty, whether the ball was catchable.
There is no foul for defensive player. Penalties, pass is incomplete. Second down.
I think maybe what they determined ultimately was the ball was so far over Josh Smith's head, there was no way he was going to get there. So they look now to 2nd down and 10 to the Buffaloes. From their own 24-yard line, we got 6:16 to play in the 2nd quarter. This time Josh Smith goes wide right. Patrick Williams boundary side left. Slot right is McKnight. Hawkins out of the shotgun, flanked to his left by Speedy Stewart. Now he steps up under center and checks off the line of scrimmage. That shifts Speedy Stewart now from running back left to running back right. Hawkins again out of the shotgun. Play clock is at 8, at 7. Hawkins calls for the ball, takes it waste time. Backpedal, scans the secondary. Now flush, running to his right, whips it to the far sideline. Catch is made at the 35-yard line by McKnight. He picks up a first down as he circles back around and gains another yard or so. Nice strike by Cody Hawkins. Buying some time, flushed out of the pocket. McKnight found an empty spot in the defense by West Virginia and picked up 12 yards and a first down. Sidney Glover was there on the tackle for the Mountaineers.
Pat Liebig is the man who was giving chase to Cody, but he had to get off his rear end because he was knocked on it by the offensive line.
First down and 10, draw play, inside handoff to Stewart, cuts up the left side, runs across the 40, takes a whale of a hit by Quentin Andrews at the 41-yard line, but ends up picking up 5, almost 6 yards, as does the scat back for the Buffaloes.
Pat Liebig has an interesting history. He missed all of last year. He had to go back. His father was sick, and he left school for a year to go back and run the family business.
2nd down and 5 from the 45. Make it 41-yard line. Inside handoff again to Speedy Stewart. He runs it up the right seam and bulls his way out to almost the 44-yard line. He'll be about 2.5 yards shy of the first down mark. A gain of 3 on that play. Makes a 3rd down. Let's call it 3 from the 43. Yeah. Liebig went back to Naples, Florida, and took over the family car business, and then was granted by the NCAA a 6th season. So he's a redshirt senior. 11 carries for 95 yards. For Speedy Stewart, 75. We need a better looking 7 there. 3rd down and 3. Dump pass right side. Catch is made by the fullback for the Buffaloes, Jake Behrens, and he is hauled down just shy of the first down marker. Quentin Andrews was there in the tackle for West Virginia. It looks like it's going to be about a half yard shy or so of the first down marker for the Buffaloes with 4:36 to play in the first half. Of the Buffs on top by a touchdown.
And they're going.
Dan Hawkins. He was very impressed by Mike Shanahan with the Broncos and the 2-point conversion last week against the Chargers. And Hawk talked about going for it, showing some confidence in your football team. And right now, leading by a touchdown with 4:17 to play in the first half, he essentially is doing that. 4th down and a short one for the Buffs from the 45-yard line. Power formation. Hawkins the snap, and there's a whistle.
Hawkins just called a timeout. Dan Hawkins.
This will be their second charge timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And so the Buffaloes want to talk this one out. I don't know if Hawk had second thoughts on it or wanted to clarify something. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
Yeah, he came running up to the head linesman over there and said timeout. You know, we probably ought to say that Speedy Stewart was not christened Speedy. His name is Rodney.
Yeah, it is Rodney Stewart. There is a timeout on the field, and we'll go ahead and take this one as well. 4:07 to play in the first half. 14-7. Buffaloes with the lead. Looking at a 4th and 1 when we come back on the Colorado Football Network. Backs in the eye. Hawkins under center. Takes a snap, turns, hands off Speedy Stewart right side. He buries his nose up on the right side and picks up a first down by about a half a yard. A gain of 1.5 yards, almost 2 there in the tackle was Pat Liebig, the defensive lineman, but a conversion on 4th down for Colorado to keep this drive alive with 4 minutes to play in half number 1. Well, Dan Hawkins, he kind of lives by that old adage, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. And they went for it on 4th down there. 1st and 10 for the 47. Shotgun snap, inside handoff to Stewart, left side, got lead blockers, cuts around the left side, across the 50, 45, hit once, hit twice, and Langster throws him out of bounds, and this is a late hit by Ellis Langster. He had his hands on Stewart. They were just about to step out of the near sidelines, and as they hit the white padding that the West Virginia team stands on, he flung Speedy Stewart into the bench. And so another penalty, number 5, coming against West Virginia.
And Speedy came standing up and dancing back onto the field. Now let's see, the officials are huddling again.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, they could have called that either unnecessary roughness or the face mask, because either one would have been appropriate, but apparently had the hand up in the face mask as well. So that moves the ball all the way up to the 27-yard line inside West Virginia territory.
That would have been a 15-yard penalty in any case, but remember, there's no 5-yard penalty anymore for face mask.
13 carries, 88 yards for Rodney Stewart. First down and 10 for the 27. Shotgun snap to Hawkins. Boots out to his right. Whips it to the far sideline. Coming back, making the grab at the 23-yard line. Picking up about 5 yards in that play was Scotty McKnight. Quentin Andrews was there on the tackle for West Virginia. A 4.5-yard pickup. Second down, short 6 anyway. Forthcoming for the Buffalo.
This has been a nice drive. This started back at the 14, and it's a clock eater.
Second down and 6. From the West Virginia 23-yard line, boundary side right. Hawkins out of the shotgun, flanked to his right by Darrell Scott. He's been relatively quiet here tonight. Gets the inside handoff, runs it straight ahead, broke 1 tackle, broke 2 tackles. Down, he's dog walking forward on his hands and his knees all the way up to just shy of the 15. To the 16, they call him down. He got tripped up, and so he was down on his knuckles, kind of pushing himself forward on his hands before Morty Ivy was there to haul him down. A gain of 7 yards, and that's a first down for Colorado. Inside 3 minutes to play in this opening half of football here at Folsom Field as the Buffs lead number 21 West Virginia 14-7. And now there's a discussion going on with our referee.
Set the game clock to 2:50.
Okay,
2:50 on the game clock.
We'll take 7 seconds off the game clock. It was at 2:57 as it was sitting dead after that first down pickup by Darrell Scott. So first down and 10.
Haven't done it yet.
From the Mountaineers 16-yard line. They take 7 seconds off the clock. 2:50 now to play in the first half. Cody Hawkins walks up under center. Now he shifts back out of the shotgun, flanked to his left by Darrell Scott. He's got 3 wide receivers to the left, tight end to the right side. That's the boundary side of the formation. Now he shifts Scott to flank him to the right. Out of the shotgun, takes a snap, backpedals. Here comes pressure, and he's slammed down at the 25-yard line as he went down. The ball popped loose. There's a scramble for it. The West Virginia players say that they have it. Coming off the edge, untouched, was John Holmes. And Hawkins didn't see him coming. It took a whale of a shot right at the 25. Now, who's got the football? That remains the question. Referee is in there. West Virginia came up with a fumble. It was a linebacker blitz off the defensive left side. Holmes came in untouched. Hawkins was looking to his left the entire way. Up in the bottom of the pile was defensive tackle Scooter Berry. Turnover following an impressive drive by Colorado as West Virginia comes up with the football with 2:30 to play in the first half. 14-7 Buffaloes.
Yeah, that took a lot of time off the clock. Started back at the 14, and it was a 12-play drive. Too bad it ended that way. Colorado could have had at least 3 points before the half ended.
First down and 10 now for the 25 for West Virginia, marching from left to right. Crowd on its feet now cheering on this Buffs defense, and now there's a stoppage of play prior to the snap.
The play is under review.
Well, the only thing they could be trying to determine is whether the ball came out late. If Hawkins were already down and then the ball was stripped clear, that's the only thing they could be reviewing at this point.
Now remember, every play is reviewed upstairs.
Once again, the man who was supposed to be the replay official was Banks Williams. He was left stranded because of Hurricane Ike down in Texas. Jack McDonald is handling that right now for the Big East Conference officiating crew.
You know, I'm not sure it was in Texas. They didn't say where it was. But, you know, Ike went up into Midwest, too.
Now to the sidelines with the Siltar Motors Sideline Report with Charles Johnson.
Guys, I had a pretty good angle on the what was called a fumble. It did appear that the ball had come out when contact was made, but it looked like, here we go here.
And a recovery has been confirmed. First down.
You know, that's exactly what I was going to say, guys.
All right, it looked like, in fact, we just got to look at the replay. It looked as if it were popping out just as he was going down prior to touching the ground. And so the correct call was made. It was confirmed by replay. And so West Virginia does maintain control of the football with 2.5 to play in the first half. Colorado leading 14-7. First down and 10 for the 25. West Virginia moving from left to right. Empty backfield. White out of the shotgun. He's got trips to the right. The senior calls for the ball, takes it chest high, back pedals, now quarterback draw, runs off the left side, is grabbed by Brad Jones and swung down. And the linebacker out of East Lansing, Michigan, just threw aside. The offensive lineman reached out, grabbed the quarterback for no gain. Great play by Jones, the senior Strong side linebackers playing some good football. This is final college season. 2nd down and 10 for the 25. Slot right formation. White again out of the shotgun. Inside handoff gives to Noel Devine. Cuts it back against the red running 30, 35-yard line out to the 40-yard line. Hit from behind and hauled down right there inside the 40-yard line. A 15-yard pickup. First down for West Virginia. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification on the Colorado Football Network. First down and 10 for the 39. Shotgun snap to White. Dances in the pocket. Flush to his right. Running to the near sideline. Gets a block by Devine. Comes in the near sideline across the 35 and out of bounds. Just shy of the 40-yard line at the 39. And so out of bounds at the line of scrimmage for no gain on that scramble. That time a great block by Noel Devine. He leaked out to the right side as a safety valve. And when White had nothing, turned around and laid out a heck of a block on one of the Buffaloes chasing Pat White.
West Virginia still has 2 timeouts remaining. Minute 36 to go in the half.
2nd down and 10. Once again from inside the 40-yard line. White out of the shotgun. Buffs on top by a touchdown. Flank to his right by Noel Devine. Sanders is the motion man. Handoff to Devine up the middle. And again Brad Jones on a stunt came knifing in and hauled him down. Only a 2-yard pickup on the carry by Noel Devine. 3rd down and 8 now forthcoming for West Virginia.
Hey, Pat White does know how to pass the ball.
Not very often.
Not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight. He had 51 pass attempts in the first 2 games combined.
Yeah.
Tonight they've got -1 yards, make it -5 yards passing. 3rd down and 8 now from the Mountaineer 41-yard line. Ball right hash mark out of the shotgun. White flank to his right by Devine. Takes the snap, looks to his left, delivers to his left. It is deflected and almost picked off. Chappell Brown had that one right in his hands, and if he does hold on his 2nd straight game, he would have taken it to the house for a touchdown. There was nobody in front of Chappell Brown. He might have been thinking about the touchdown celebration before he actually had a handle on it, but he knocked it down incomplete.
Boy, that was almost a carbon copy of the one against Eastern Washington.
Yeah, just going the other direction.
Yeah.
So that means West Virginia has to punt this one away with exactly 1 minute to play in half number 1. McAfee out, standing at the 26-yard line off to our left. Josh Smith deep at the 10-yard line for Colorado off to our right. Playing shallow return is Scotty McKnight. He's at the 25. Kicking from left to right. High snap hauled down by McAfee to his right. Puts it high in the air. Smith waits inside the 10. Takes it to the 7-yard line. Dances a bit. Grabbed around the waist. Hit a second wave. And they drive him back to about the 13-yard line. Nice coverage downfield. It was actually a great hanging punt by McAfee. Eventually was brought down by Trip Hale. Ends up being a punt of 52 yards, essentially no return, as they'll spot this one at the 10-yard line with 48 seconds remaining in the first half. First down and 10 for the Buffs from their own 10-yard line.
McAfee is already, that's his 3rd better than 50-yard punt, and he's averaging 44.3. Said that he's going to have to make a decision. I'm sure he'll play in the NFL, but he'll probably be a kickoff man and a punter rather than a field goal kicker. He does it all for West Virginia.
Yeah, he handles it all. He's kind of been a star for them on special teams. You can see why. He's got a great leg. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Speedy Stewart, the tail of the 10 with the backs are in the eye. Hawkins under center. Turns hands out to Speedy off the right side. Grabbed around the ankles. And he is hauled down. Tackle there by Morty Ivy. 2-yard pickup for the Buffaloes. 2nd down and 8 forthcoming.
I don't think the Buffs are going to do anything exciting down right on their inside their 15-yard line.
2nd down and 8 from the 12. 25 seconds remaining. Buffaloes will get into a safety formation and just snap the ball, put the knee down. That's what Hawkins does. Yeah, that's the end of half number 1. 14-7. But there is a flag in this play. The Buffs apparently were not maybe set in the formation, and so we've got a procedure call against the Buffaloes.
Illegal formation on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Okay, so there are 6 seconds remaining.
Please reset the game clock to 12 seconds.
So we'll tack on the 6 more to make it 12 seconds. And essentially we'll just, as Yogi Berra once said, deja vu all over again. We'll do the exact same thing as Hawkins will kneel down and the half will come to an end. Of course, Charles Johnson will talk with head coach Dan Hawkins here at halftime, either going in or coming out, depending on. So the snap to Hawkins now puts the knee down. And that brings us to the end of half number 1. We will talk to Hawk coming back to start the second half. 14-7. Buffs scored their first 2 possessions. Wait a second. Now there's a timeout called.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
By West Virginia with 2 seconds remaining.
Please reset the game clock to 10 seconds. 10 seconds on the game clock.
So Bill Stewart calls the timeout, so we are not at the end of the half.
Well, let me tell you why. It's 3rd down. If they kneel down again, they're going to take another timeout, and then Colorado's going to have to punt the ball.
West Virginia's got one more timeout, as do the Buffaloes, by the way. So 10 seconds remaining. Well, essentially what, and again, you get into these iffy situations, and this is always that game of cat and mouse down the stretch here, is the Buffs could step back and Cody could stay, the ball's at the 8-yard line. He could step back and then essentially stand there and just essentially get protection by the front, burn a few seconds before somebody kind of broke through and then could put the knee down. Bank of the West halftime report coming up. Chris Lewis back in the network studios. Give us a look at the scoreboard tonight. Of course, not much going on in college football. So now Cody turns and he hands off to Stewart this time. Runs it off the right side across the 10 to the 12-yard line.
Still going to make them punt.
And now there's 3 seconds remaining. Ends up being a 4-yard pickup. And now the Buffs will have to punt this one now as it's 4th down and about 6 yards to go. John Holmes was there on the tackle for West Virginia. Interesting strategy by the Mountaineers here down the stretch.
Well, they're forcing him into a, who knows? The center can go over the head. They can block the punt, particularly down here in that territory.
No doubt, as they have the Buffs push deep in their own end. So it's 14-7 Colorado. Colorado with a 4th down and 7 now. Ball on the 13-yard line following that carry by Speedy Stewart's. And now I'm just thinking from a time standpoint, Zim, if the Buffs, now the danger you get into there's 3 seconds left. And so you're kind of in that gray area in between whether you could actually kneel down and burn. 2 seconds you could probably burn. 3 you probably cannot. But that's exactly what the Buffs are trying to do. Yeah. As Cody Hawkins will take. He could either turn and hand off to Speedy Stewart as well, which he does. Speedy holds on, breaks it off the left side, out across the 15, and that brings us to the end of half number 1. So finally, a game of cat and mouse ends up with nothing happening. 14-7 Colorado after 2 quarters. Leads number 21 West Virginia here at Folsom Field. Bank of the West halftime show straight ahead here on the Colorado Football Network. They kick it off at the 30-yard line off to our right. As we're set for the second half to get underway here at Folsom Field. Buffaloes at the break leading number 21 West Virginia 14-7. Buffaloes 2-0 looking to go to 3-0. West Virginia has not lost consecutive games as they're coming off a loss since 2004. They lost straight games to Boston College and Pitt in Big East Conference play. So they're trying to avoid that. Buffs are trying to hand them their second straight loss. So Davis has it teed up. We're set. Get the signal to start the 3rd quarter. Davis puts the right foot to it, high and end over end. Drifting back is Langster into the end zone. This one 8 yards deep out of the back of the end zone. And it's another touchback on the kickoff by Jamison Davis. He's been outstanding in that regard this season. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification here on the Colorado Football Network. So here comes Pat White and the West Virginia offense once again. Colorado did a good job containing both he and Noel Devine in that first half. There was not a lot of passing, of course, in the first half by the Mountaineers. 1st down and 10 for the 20-yard line. Moving from left to right. Tight end to the right side. Motion man is Gonzalez. Inside out, beg your pardon, as he pulled it back out of the gut of Noel Devine. Pat White running off the right side. Runs into Sean Moeller and Jeff Smart and a host of Buffaloes. At the 23-yard line, ends up being a 3-yard pickup, but a nice gang tackle there by Colorado.
He is right now number 2 in the NCAA in yards per play in this early part of the season, averaging 7.54 yards per play. I'm speaking to Pat White. He is second to a kid we're going to see later in the season here, Zach Robinson of Oklahoma State, averaging 7.61.
2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. Boundary side right, open side of the formation of the left. Shotgun snap to White. Pulls it out of the gun of Devine. Rolls to his left, looking to throw. Left-hander dumps it off. Catch is made by the fullback Johnson, and he is cut down at the 25. He made the grab and turned upfield, and Chappelle Brown was right there to cut his legs out from underneath him. A 3-yard pickup. And so now 3rd down and roughly 4 yards to go for West Virginia on this opening possession of quarter number 3. 14-7 Colorado.
Chappelle Brown's turned into a pretty good cornerback, isn't he?
Boy, that was a big question mark with Terrence Wheatley heading to the NFL, second-round draft pick by New England. The thought was, well, who is going to step up and take that position? So far, Chappelle Brown has done a nice job for the Buffaloes.
And Gardner McKay quietly gets it done on the other side.
1 of 5 in third down conversions for West Virginia. They face a third down and 4 for the 26. Out of the shotgun, White running the option to the right side. Tucks in under, looking for room. Cut down as he crosses the 28-yard line. Cut down to the 29. He's tackled there. Jeff Smart, Jaleel Brown, all there. Brad Jones in the tackle for Colorado, gain of 3. That brings up 4th down and 1 now for West Virginia. Yeah, the Buffs swarming on defense once again. Colorado speeds him on defense. What a stark contrast from a year ago with all the influx of talent that Dan Hawkins brought in.
Boy, you're not kidding. And healthy up front. Brandon Nicholas, just as you said, with Nicholas and Hippolyte, that's probably the best tandem in the league.
Pat McAfee has had to punt this one away for West Virginia. 2 minutes have gone by here in the third quarter. Colorado by a touchdown. Josh Smith back to return at the 20-yard line up to a right for the Buffaloes. Waist-high snap. McAfee puts the right foot to it. High spiraling punt. Smith is up. It bounces down at the 27. He lets it go by him. Rolls inside the 25, inside the 20, down to roughly the 18-yard line. And that's where it's down. I think Josh Smith, there's youngsters back on that return team. Smith pointed forward as if he thought Scotty McKnight were going to come up and catch that. 53-yard punt, no return, as is down by the Martineers. And McKnight never even looked back after he saw that one was going over his head. He just let it go, and Josh Smith got away from it. So a 12:43 to play in the third quarter. Colorado leads 14-6.